Hey there, my name's Joe Keyport, and you're listening to the Ear Coffee Podcast. This week, I talked to all four members of the band BlueDriver. This is a band that has been on Ear Coffee's radar since the early days. They were even the second band to play in the basement for a live session once we had a space set up. And they even played one of our early birthday shows. You may have stopped by the Treasury in like 2022. They've been busy this year, releasing their debut EP in April, and then they released their follow-up in October. It was good to catch up with the band, kind of see into their process, and talk music, even music that's not so serious. It's all four members of BlueDriver, and they're all right here on the Ear Coffee Podcast. We were kind of talking off before we started recording that this is a long time coming for a chat. I know we've probably talked on and off since 2021.
Yeah,
At
really yeah. Mm-hmm. But happy it's happening finally.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we really get into things, do we want to have some names quick? Put some names to voices, and what you do. Introduce yourselves, I should say.
Henry, go first.
I'm Henry, and I play guitar for BlueDriver and do backup vocals sometimes.
My name is Angie, and I play the drums, and I also do vocals.
I'm Andrea. I play bass.
I'm Antonio. I do most of the words and guitar.
Hell yeah. So one of the first things I always like to ask bands on this podcast is how do you describe BlueDriver to people? Usually it's like a family member or a coworker, and they're like, "Oh, you're in a band. What is it?" What's your kind of response? Because usually they're not like in the know. They're just some random bystander.
I usually like to start off with "we're kind of bad." I've used the term bunk band. Which is bad punk, and I've kind of taken up to calling us dance punk. It's kind of the best way to describe us without me having to explain a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of suits us. We're not super angry, but we like to party.
I always say it's like kind of punk garage rock.
Mm.
I usually say that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably dance punk. I usually say we're like kind of a joke. But like, I don't know.
We are kind of a joke.
Yeah.
We did start off as mostly a joke band.
Mostly as a bit, and then we were having too much fun.
It just metastasized from there.
Yeah, I think we metastasized us.
That's a new one. I've never interviewed a band that's like, yeah, we started as a bit. So how did the band form?
It was mostly me on my school iPad fucking around in GarageBand.
Yes.
And then I'd be like, "Angie, listen to this. You can play these drums, right?" And Angie would be like, "I don't wanna." And then Angie would.
But then I would.
And we sounded pretty terrible, honestly.
Yeah.
It was early. We didn't really know what we were doing. We still don't, but at least we have cooler guitars now.
Yeah, we got better. So
That's all that matters, the aesthetics.
Exactly.
All guitars sound exactly the same. They just look different.
He would know. He's a luthier.
That's my real job.
So then, so kind of what time, when were you starting? Was it kind of the same time you were getting into music? Was the band starting or like playing music, or was it you had been playing music beforehand and then you were like, well, let's do something?
So I had always kind of been around music. Our dad's a musician, so we were kind of raised around going to gigs and hanging out. Like, oh, my guys are coming over for practice. You guys stay in your room. And
they wouldn't say it like that. But.
Yeah. Just a lot of stuff. We were always kind of around it. I always kind of knew I was going to be a musician of some sort. I like attention way too much to be anything else. And I just liked, making noise. It was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then Angie learned to play the drums. And then I would kind of goof around, write goofy lyrics. And then the first ever BlueDriver practice, it was our friend Nick, who was our first bass player, and then Ange and I. And then Henry just kind of tagged along. And then I heard Henry playing guitar, and it's like, oh, so Henry like actually plays guitar. And then we needed Henry in the band.
Yeah, he was the one that like knew what he was doing. So we were like, oh man.
Every band needs one person who's actually talented, and ours is Henry.
I would argue that everyone in this band is very talented. I was actually just thinking about that today. Like, well, you guys are so great.
And then Andrea, you're a more recent addition. I think what you had the last time when I played with my when I was still playing with, I think you had just joined at that point, or within a couple, like a month.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
That was the Pillar show, right?
Correct. Which was also the last show I ever played with.
Oh wow! Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy we could be there for it.
Yeah.
So Andrew, how'd you get connected with BlueDriver? Because I mean, I knew you from Alien Book Club and playing with other kind of projects around.
Well, I really liked BlueDriver before COVID hit. Had them play at the Astro Lounge, and so we kind of knew each other. And then Henry and his partner would come and shop at the co-op I worked at.
Represent.
And they were like, "Hey, we need a bassist. Do you want to play?" And then, like a year later, they officially asked.
Yeah. It took so long.
It was kind of like the ear copy thing where we would talk about it like every couple months. Like, yeah, that would be so cool. Let's do it. And then we wouldn't talk about it for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But then it happened, and we sound so much better as a 4-piece. So we're really thankful to have Andrea.
We couldn't be happier with our new bass player.
Mm-hmm.
Was it pretty quick then to get kind of acclimated and up to speed with the band then, or probably not too much different from the kind of your wheelhouse of music that I at least know you for?
Yeah. No, it was just like a matter of learning all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was honestly a super quick learner. Like it was kind of.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first month or so, we had like 2 or 3 practices, and I remember she learned like 3 songs in like 3 hours, which was very impressive to me because I did.
Yeah,
it comes from working with Anita. She's like that.
lots of material you got to learn fast.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So then, how quickly after kind of the band and like formed were you guys were you all putting together? Writing music and getting ready, because I do like I'll look through the discography and we'll see there is like an album of like live songs for like 2020.
Oh yeah.
It's a live record. Was recorded at our friend's backyard. Our friend Tynan filmed it.
Get a
And
camcorder set up.
yeah, put it on YouTube, and then pandemic hit, and it's like we got to put something out. It's not like we can really record or practice right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I ripped the audio from YouTube, and I was like, fuck it, we're going to do it. And I put it out. Sounds awful, but yes. I want to say it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was something to show that we're a real band. We have all these songs. We know how to play the songs that we wrote. Kind of. And BlueDriver will never die.
I wonder how many songs from that live record made it onto your the debut EP and kind of the forthcoming one, which we'll talk about. Was it just Hot Bod?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what was the art? That was a later song. And then Reptilian Eyes, that was also later. You're Not Cool was kind of an earlier song, but it wasn't on the Alive record.
Mm.
That was one that was definitely earlier that just kind of stuck around. I think really it was just Hot Bod, and then we ended up cutting that one from the EP. So I think we have a couple of them. We brought back Terminator 2, which I'm really happy about. We did the Soviets a couple times, which is one of my favorites. And then Dedicated to You is one that it's always been one of my favorites. It's one we've always been doing kind of from the start, and that one's on the newest EP. And I'm really happy to have a better recording of that one out.
Hell yeah. And kind of a little bit of a callback, unintentional callback to a comment you had made, you know, when we started recording, which is BlueDriver to me as a project kind of sits at this weird intersection of like punk and rock music, where there's, I think of what's the song? I think of the song Wine Mom, the absolute favorite of mine, has this like political commentary to it, but it also has the fun of like Black Flag's TV Party. You know, it's
Yes.
like, we know what that TV party is about. It's, you know, the malaise of consuming media and just drinking beer all day, but also there is that like fun to it, and the BlueDriver as a project sits there for me. Was that just something that you just kind of always wanted to be a part of the band, or kind of had from the beginning you're just like, we just want to have that kind of fun element to it?
I think there's kind of always been some attitude in the vocals, like in a cool, like in a swag way. Sorry, I didn't mean like
swag attitude.
Yeah.
Swagitude, yes.
Yeah.
I think that having fun was kind of the main point of BlueDriver from the start. It was never really about making music or even being a band. It was just like hanging out with my buds and making noise, whether or not it was good. And then it ended up being okay, and we just kind of kept doing it, and we never stopped. And going back to the fun and the almost satirical lyrics, I don't know if I'm a very good musician, but I think I'm really funny. So I try to weaponize that as much as I can. And I think on this record, that's something that, or on this new EP, that's something that really shines, is more of the earlier comedic tone, blended in with the more not super serious, almost like irreverent is the word that I would use.
Well, let's talk then a little bit, like, you know, as band members, and this doesn't have to be exclusively like Antonio, you know, what was influencing kind of that desire to have that irreverence? What were you listening to growing up? You know, what was the, everybody can kind of chime in on this. I don't need to pick completely at the lyrics yet.
So for me personally, I think a lot of the earlier songs were written when I was around 18 or 19 in high school, and I was listening to a lot of Ben Folds 5, They Might Be Giants, and Beastie Boys. So
yes,
kind of the cleverness, but also the brashness of Ben Folds and his lyrics, especially early 90s Ben Folds. That was a big influence on me. And then They Might Be Giants is primarily silly, but it comes from a place of not wanting to admit very much and being embarrassed of those feelings, and finding creative ways around that to kind of say how you're feeling, but in a way that's maybe funny or unusual, to distract from the feelings themselves and kind of take form of something new. And it's like, I'll use my own example. And They Might Be Giants, they say something like, I was a snowball in hell, which is just like, I really like that line. I was a snowball in hell. That's such a creative way to say, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And Dedicated, I say, ever since you left me, my feelings have been kicking my ass. And I feel like that's just kind of where we're at as a band, especially at that time. Like, yeah, this sucks, but I don't want my homies to know that I'm sad, so I'm gonna make it silly.
Aw.
Angie and Andrea, would you like?
I don't know. I think with writing vocals, like when I first started getting into it, I'm still not as like confident in like where I don't know. I'm still kind of finding my voice, I guess, when it comes to like saying what I want to say. But I know that BlueDriver is like the place I would feel most comfortable saying it, you know? I feel like I could scream about literally anything. And I wouldn't have to feel like embarrassed or ashamed of it. I mean, like some of those feelings, some of that embarrassment is like ingrained, you know?
So I think like towards the beginning, Antonio really took on a lot of the songwriting, like would come to us with a riff and lyrics and be like, hey guys, I wrote this song. And then after being in the band a few years, I started coming and bringing some riffs or also like kind of adding my own thing to it. I think a lot of my big inspirations in terms of like guitar and stuff would be bands like Fugazi or like you mentioned Black Flag. I really love that how it can have, like you said, it can have that kind of political commentary to it, but also just be about like having fun and not really taking it too seriously. And I just kind of love that energy of like, you know, getting up there and screaming and just like putting everything you got out there. Like by the time you're done with a show or something, just like fucking covered in sweat and voices cracking and, you know, I guess kind of just releasing all the emotions you have. That's always kind of been my favorite part about the style of music we play. And what else? Like stuff like the band The Chats. We used to listen to The Chats like during the early BlueDriver years, and I think that their kind of style of music was also really inspirational to me. How it was like that kind of like fun punk rock.
Yeah.
I like sitting in an area where you can take the lyrics seriously if you want, but if you don't, you can still take the music as it is and enjoy it for that. I have a great affinity for novelty bands such as Weird Al and Lonely Island, other ones, where if you took away the comedic lyrics, the song is still there, and you can listen to the song as a song and still enjoy it. And then the lyrics on top of that just kind of add another layer. But if you ignore them, you still can enjoy it. So if you want to take us seriously, you can, but you don't have to, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. Well, I just like thinking of lyrics, like call back to Wine Mom, because that's just the one, there's the line, because I won't wear a mask and I am bringing my gun, is a line that is like burned into my brain. And every time I've heard it, I just instant smile. Because there is like, you have that, like, if you want to read into it, there's something you can read into there. If not, it's just a funny lyric.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like sitting in that middle area between, you know, we can be funny, but if you don't want to view us as a funny band, you don't have to. And one thing that's been really good to us is playing a lot of basement shows, knowing that my vocals are not going to be heard at all. I think that was a big thing at the start of the band, was trying to, all right, everything has to be funny because I don't want my homies to know I'm sad. And then over time, we were kind of playing more basements like, these guys can't hear what I'm saying anyway. I can be as sad as I want. I don't really like doing that because I personally like to have fun. And I think that BlueDriver was always about just having fun with my buds. And while I have the ability to get deeper into lyrics, and I do it sometimes, I try to do it sparingly because I try to maintain being fun and goofy because that's who we are. And trying to be too serious almost feels insincere. And I like that there's not a lot of bands that are really funny, I feel like, in the music scene.
Yeah.
It's either like full comedy or not at all. And it's kind of fun being one of the only bands, at least that I've seen, that is more comedic and doesn't take ourselves as seriously. I feel like it's really easy for some bands to take themselves way too seriously. And I try to stay away from that. We're all in a basement. We're all having fun. Allowed to smile. It's a party.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's move ahead then. I want to talk a little bit. Obviously, we're not here to talk about the EP you had released earlier this year. We're here to talk about the one that is going to come out. But I do want to ask about Music is Dead and BlueDriver Killed It a little bit. Kind of talk to me about that EP, especially since a lot of these songs seem to have been around for a minute. I know several of them were on the live session that we did 2021-ish, I think, 21, 22.
That was ago.
Yeah.
So, how long did these songs sit around? How does it feel to, have them out?
It was kind of a relief. That album was kind of in limbo for like 2 years. So,
really?
Yeah, as we evolved as a band, it's kind of weird thinking like, oh, this is like a completely different version of us.
Yeah.
And after a while, it's like we had changed so much. I don't even know if this is a correct representation of us, but we recorded it and we didn't have anything out. And we had such a blast recording it. Dirty Laundry Records was so good to us. And they were nothing but great and kind. And being able to learn and be in a real studio setting, it was so much fun. And we were all so excited and nervous. We didn't really know what to do. And I think that kind of shows that we were having fun and we didn't really know what was going to come of it. And then when it did come out, it was almost like a relief. Like, all right, it's behind us. We can move on from it. And I really like, I don't know, I like when bands can have different iterations and evolutions, I suppose.
Yeah.
One that I really look into is Beastie Boys. They started mostly as a joke. And then over time, they actually learned about music and they started doing more instrumental, more jazz stuff, songs about actual political issues. And I feel like as a band, being able to see the change from where you started and where you are now is really important.
Yeah. Well, talk to me kind of about that change then as a band, because you had mentioned earlier a lot of the songs were originally written when you were 18, 19, so this is like very much a snapshot of a previous self. How, thinking about kind of that era and the songs that are coming out as a band, what do you think when you look back?
I think, thank God we got better. A lot of the songs, I mean, I was always around blues music. I was kind of in an adult blues band. Our dad is like an upright bass player. And if you really didn't want to do a blues gig, he's like, this stuff's easy. You can do it. So,
for like gigs he didn't want to play.
And that was really great. But being around blues music and seeing how those shows operate and how there's introductions for every song, you thank all the musicians, you thank everybody, there's a lot of talking. Seeing a real show, I guess, a real DIY show, it was so jarring, but it was so refreshing to see like, oh, you don't have to introduce every song. And then I still did it because I had good bits for every song. But,
for every song.
Yeah.
you got to come up with more bits for new songs now. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of new material now.
Yeah.
So
We
You
have
got to
some,
work on. You got to get your tight five going for your stand-up set. In between songs.
well, a lot of the songs were like an excuse, like, see how funny I am? And I can also do 3 chords. But most of those early songs, it was really simple, kind of rooting back to early blues music. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus. That was a lot of stuff. Our original bass player, Nick, was a really good bass player, but we needed to kind of just work around, like, everybody's a beginner. We're going to make these songs as straightforward, nothing too crazy. And I think you can hear that in It's a Live record. The songs are intro, verse, chorus, post-chorus, whatever.
Mhm.
Very simple forms. And I think that was really what we needed to get our shit together and get on the same page as musicians. And then being able to grow from that has been really exciting. Recently, we were working on a new song, and I was like, yeah, sorry, this song has a lot of parts. And Henry said, oh no, my steak is too juicy.
It's true. I mean, yeah, like I think that's, I love the older, simpler stuff. I think there's something really awesome about having just 3 chords, and it doesn't need to be complex. It can just it could just be good. But I really like that we're kind of moving into doing something different, I suppose, having more parts. And I feel like now we're kind of at a spot where everyone kind of is bringing their own thing to it. Like Antonio will come to us with like some riffs, and then like each of us might be like, oh, what if we did this? And what if we did this? And we kind of smash it all into a meatball of rock and roll, if you will.
I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, I really think a lot of our newer material is the songwriting portion has been it's felt a lot more collaborative, which I really like. Earlier it used to be, Antonio would come to practice with like songs like completely done, and we would like find our footing after that. But the last couple of songs, I feel like Hope You Know is one that's going to be on our new EP. And that's one where it was like maybe 3/4 of the way done when you brought it to practice. And then we kind of like...
Yeah, we all just kind of like, oh, what if we did this many times?
Yeah, everybody was offering something, and it was,
It was really relieving to have some help in the writing, because it's so easy to get caught up like, oh, this has to be more complicated so people don't think I'm stupid. And then just kind of everybody contributing and being able to put their own spin on it with everybody's different background in music and their different things that they listen to. You can really tell, especially the EP going from Dedicated to You, which is one of the earlier songs from the It's Alive era. It's 2 parts, verse, chorus. It's like chords, but it was just fun. We always loved doing it. And then the one after that is Hope You Know, which is our newest song, which everybody worked on. It's about 6 minutes long, and it has a bunch of different phases to it, I want to say. And I feel like putting those 2 next to each other just kind of shows like we can appreciate that we used to be bad, but we're a little better now, and we're still having fun.
Yeah. And so the new EP, it's titled Again, right?
Yep.
Gonna make sure I have the question mark on there as well.
Yes.
Again.
Again. So this is the first one you said, like, with songs on it that everyone, including Andrea, has written on. What was it like to work then? You kind of already have started touching on, this as writing as a kind of a cohesive quartet. You know, talk to me a little bit more about that. You know, Andrea, what was it like writing with this band and kind of starting to add your own kind of musical abilities and writing skills to this?
Yeah. Kind of like it kind of reminded me of playing with Alien Book Club. Like it.
Don't say that.
Like when we would write an Alien Book Club, like Anita wrote most of the songs, and she would kind of like bring all the parts to us, and then we'd finish the songs all together, basically. And that's kind of like what we did with Hope You Know. And it was like, well, this is kind of how it goes. So let's figure out how it's gonna go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's fun. It felt like, I don't know, a process I'm very used to. So it was cool.
Awesome. So then talk to me kind of what is Hope You Know about, you know, as a song. Talk to me about writing that, you know, lyrically, and everyone could chime into what was like putting that together.
So the original riff was a song that I was working on a long time ago. I was apparently going through it because the song was titled "I Don't Want to Be Alive Anymore," and yeah, and that was when we were still practicing in my mom's basement. So sorry about that, Mom. But not anymore. No, it's something else now. And that was a song. It was a Christmas song. We have a fun joke where we have the Christmas version of Hope You Know, and it's Hope It Snows. Yeah, a lot of the lyrics was kind of, hold up, let me look at the sheet. I've been making CDs and lyric sheets. That's something that I always loved when, you know, bands do. Like, they have a sheet of all the lyrics. And to finally have that in our new EP, I'm really proud of. I bought a guitar with the money that I should have saved to fix my car. That's true. I bought this badass guitar, and my car was the knockoff Dan Electro. So cool. It's the Washburn Retro Tone. So yeah, I try to write most of the lyrics like either true to my heart or just insanely ridiculous.
Which go well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then paid $18 for a ticket at the 7th Street entry. Pretty self-explanatory.
Pretty autobiographical at this point.
Yeah, a lot of it is. And I think that's fun. It was Bleached. It was the Paranoids opening for Bleached. And it was so good. It was such a good show.
I love Bleached.
And then I went alone. Nobody wanted to go with me. And then I was hanging out with the band, Paranoids, and I was like, and the edible that I took kicked in right around then. And that leads to the second verse. I feel like a dick. I haven't eaten all day, except for the edible. And I look like shit. And when it kicked in, I was kicking with the Paranoids. All I hear is my ears ringing because there's too much noise. And I hope you know you will never have to see me again. So that was at a time when Angie and I were mad at each other. Yeah. And Angie was smart at, smart school, getting psychology. And I was making T-shirts for my band. And it's like, yeah, well, you never have to see me again. That show was so good. I was like, you know what? I could probably just die now. That's fine. Which I think is cool. Like, I didn't. Obviously,
that's a positive, Yeah. We've all been to shows where like I could get hit by a bus leaving the venue and it'd be sick as fuck.
Exactly. It's like, this was the greatest night of my life. I went to a show alone. I hung out with these bands that I love. If I die now, that would be fine. And then I think the chorus of the song kind of led from that. It was more for Angie, almost. I hope you know I will never be defeated. I hope you know it's my money and I need it. I think that just rhymed. I don't think Angie owed me any money. But if you want to keep your money, I'll still take it. And then blah 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 blah. I'm not sad. I'm trying to do better. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, the rest is lame.
I didn't know that was written about me.
No, it wasn't completely. It's so weird. I hate when life imitates art. Like, we had this song where I say I'm gonna crash my car, and then 3 years later I crashed my car. The fuck was that? Why did I do that?
Happens to all of us at some point.
Yeah. But that was a song where I wrote it at that time. It was pre-pandemic. It was so long ago. And then over time, those lyrics kind of started to mean something else to me and started to mean like I was referencing something else, even though it wasn't. It just kind of fit so well to that it kind of felt more like that. So even though the song maybe started about Angie, over time it shifted to be about something completely different. And that's one thing that I'm always kind of looking for when I write songs. It's like, what does this mean now? And what's it going to mean to me years from now? Sorry, I've been talking so much. Somebody else take a turn.
You're good, homie. I will say this one for the riffs on Hope You Know. I guess recently I've been like this for a lot of our songs, but I kind of try to bring some sort of heavy metalness to it, if you will. There are some parts where we hit some harmonics that was kind of inspired by like old Machine Head songs. Like the song Davidian has a really cool part where it's like the riff and then it just goes like that straight harmonic with like the really high distortion. And I've kind of always loved that like super like freaked out loud obnoxious kind of sound that those make. And yeah, I guess I don't know what else to say really. Sorry.
Bouncing off of that was like for the bridge of the song, I didn't really know where to go with it. I had something written, but I wasn't convinced that it was the best it could be. And then we were just noodling with it. And Henry busts out harmonics and metal riffs, and it's like, that's it. That's what it needed. And then moving on to the bridge of the song, it's like, oh, what if Angie and Andrea did this? And it's like a completely different song now. But the meshing of our different genres that we listen to, I don't listen to any metal. I don't really listen to like any of that shit. And then I don't know. I like metal. I appreciate it. Like if I'm watching it live, that's so cool. It's so good seeing like something you're not used to hearing. And like, wow, these musicians are so talented. But I like listening to music that makes me happy. And a lot of angry songs doesn't really do that for me. I don't really listen to too much punk music. I kind of listen to goofy synth music. And I think everybody having different tastes. Henry listens to a lot of metal and brings that edge to it. Angie, what do you listen to?
I think this song, Hope You Know, it kind of, I listened to a lot of like, well, in high school, I listened to a lot of like 60s rock. And I always loved how the drums sounded in like 60s and 70s stuff. That style specifically. And I kind of want to bring like, I kind of wanted to bring that feel to Hope You Know, with little touches of like chaos and sometimes like maybe not anger, but just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of just like stress. I really love blending those two like moods, going from like cutesy and fun and like poppy and then just going right into like really heavy stuff. You know, I love having like contrast.
Yeah.
I think Hope You Know has a lot of that, which I really like. It's a really fast song. And
it's not that fast.
It's not like as fast.
It's not Soviets fast.
It's not Soviets fast. But it is. Well, there's just so many different moving parts, specifically with the drums, which is nice. Like it keeps me on my toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like having, not like it's a workout, you know, but it's really like there were a couple of things that I wanted to do on this song where I'm like, ah, shit, I've never done that before. I'm going to need to practice that like a couple times a week. You know what I mean? To be able to do it successfully, like it shows. You know? So it really, but it's also like, I would rather be pushing myself in that way than doing something I was already comfortable doing. You know? I think when you're a drummer, it's really easy to play the same couple of beats over and over and over again. And like, that's fine, you know, if you have like the bones down of like a song, and like you can fake your way through a set just fine. But I never want to get repetitive. And I think that's why I really like Hope You Know, because there's so many moving parts. I'm basically always changing what I'm doing.
The drums on that one are really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yes.
Going back, I remember practicing it when it was still I Don't Want to Be Alive Anymore. It had the same bass line and it had the same like drum beat, but it was simple back then, which was all we needed because we were much simpler as a band. And then listening to it now, like, oh, there's an extra crashy guy there. And it's like, oh, it's like then. And it's like, whoa, that's cool. I couldn't have thought of that. And I think having musicians that want to push themselves like that is really cool. Like, we want to get better. We want to see each other get better. And I think I just kind of want to see where we end up. It's like, we've been doing this for so long, thinking about where we started to where we are now. What's next? And I think that's really cool. I'm really excited to keep putting out music. Again, was recorded in our basement, and
this is our first time recording on our own.
Yeah.
So that's really, yeah.
And it was hard. It was a little frustrating. But there was we had another song on the EP that we were going to put on there. And then Angie didn't like the drum part. And I was always like, it's fine. Nobody will notice.
It wasn't perfect. It was not perfect.
It wasn't
and I
perfect.
could do it more perfect is the thing.
And I was like, it's fine. Nobody cares. It sounds great. And then over time, I kind of came to admire, like, you know what? We have the means to do it again. We're not paying for studio time. We can get it better. It kind of hurt me to cut that song because I really, really wanted it on the record. And I think I was just excited to put it out. But Angie was right. It's better to wait and put out something as good as it can be instead of putting out something mid and then having to deal with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, our dad's recorded a lot of music, and he's told us a bunch of times, like, if you're not happy with the recording, just do it again, or else it's gonna, like, he has used the words, like, it will haunt you forever. Give yourself. But yeah, our dad is really stressed, like, if you're not happy with the recording, don't keep it, because it will bug you. So yeah, I know that it was really frustrating for Antonio that like we weren't able to keep that one.
I'm happy that you fought for your right.
I fought for my right to party.
Yeah. And as much as it pained me, as much as I like wanted it to be on there, after I kind of came around to it, I was like, all right, yeah. And there was a couple times on this record where I was like, oh, it's got to be this way. It's so cool. It's so awesome. I wanted this fuck-ass delay on my vocals at this one part. And I wanted it so bad. And then Angie was like, that's stupid. We can't do that. And I was like, no, it's cool. I was like, you know what? We'll ask the band. And I was like, the band's going to think awesome. And then we showed Henry, and Henry's like, that's not cool at all.
Well, I'm sure
Easier thing, and
It
sounded
was a
like
delay.
it sounded like a sound effect from Star Trek or something.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Sounds rad.
Yeah. Should have had Andrea there.
Let them beam me up Scotty on the vocal.
Well, here's my thing. We were talking earlier about like how BlueDriver is like goofy and dumb, and we don't take the band like super seriously. But I also think it's important to like ride that line of like serious to silly.
Yeah.
It's really easy to go over that line and just turn into like schlock, you know? And I don't want to be schlock. I want to have something to say.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why when you when you talk about like Lonely Island or Weird Al or some of those other bands, like yeah, they're silly and they kind of joke bands, but there's still quality musicianship, writing, and production behind it. You get permission to have that goofiness and silliness through the musicianship.
Yeah, that's something that's always been cool to me. Like, oh, if the music sucks, if it's funny enough, you kind of have a little bit of a pass there. And then the other way around, if the lyrics are dumb and stupid, but the music is really good, just don't think about it and you can enjoy it still. And yeah, it's hard for me to not be as funny as possible.
You're just so hilarious.
I am. I always think like there's this bit on American Dad when Steve's like, apologize for being hilarious? Never. And Angie looked at me and says, that's you. And I think having bandmates that are able to kind of draw the line and say, you know what, that's funny. I know you want it. It doesn't serve the song. And that's something as a bass player that's always really important to me, is serving the song, not going overboard. And as a lyricist, I mean, I want to do something memorable. I want people to listen to me and think, oh, that's cool. Or, oh, that was stupid, but it was funny. Like, if somebody's laughing, they're more likely to have a good time. If somebody's smiling, you can assume they're not having a bad time. I don't know. That's kind of how my brain works. Like, when you're up on stage, you have a job. You have to be entertaining. You have to be a performer. And kind of stepping away from, all right, we've talked about it before, kind of the difference between Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And it's like, all right, I'm not Antonio anymore. I'm a cooler version of him. And I'm wearing makeup. And I'm gonna shout.
And I'm not as sad. We're broke.
And I'm not a loser.
And I'm not a nerd, I swear.
I'm cool. It's true, I am. It's
Guys, I think we might be nerds.
No, we're cool.
I know we're nerds, but kind of going back to like, I mean, there's some verses on here. Yeah. So what? I'm referencing Halo. If you don't know about it, who cares? No one's going to know. No one's going to be like, this guy's talking about Halo and that's not cool. And if somebody does do that, I'm squaring up.
It's on site.
A lot of our set is like catered towards like, yeah, putting on a performance, you know? And I totally agree that like having a sense of humor can make you like really stick in somebody's brain a lot more than like a band that takes themselves too seriously. So I totally agree with that.
Just being able to have fun. Like, I'm just hanging out with my buds, and whether or not there's an audience there, we're making noise, we're having fun. Everybody kind of gets a chance to shine. There's drum solos, there's bass solos, and everybody gets a chance to like show what they contribute. And it's always so nice, like taking a break, stepping back and being like, Angie on the drums, check this out. And then Angie will do something cool. Or it's like, bring in the bass. And then it's Andrea's turn to do something cool. And then bass. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, I write all the songs for me. Most of those songs are kind of the songs that I need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not that's super specific relatability, like, oh, I went to the 7th Street entry and paid $18 for a ticket. Whether it's that or whether it's, I will not rest until the banished are defeated. It all means something to me. And being able to kind of wear your balls on your sleeve and say, this is who we are. We're having fun. So what? And not a lot of people can really get with that. And I appreciate it. And I'm fine with that because it's not for them. It's for us. And at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not in a band I'm not in it for fame and fortune. I'm in it to do dumb shit with my buds and hang out. And then we can talk about movies afterwards.
Usually how it goes.
Yeah. We usually practice like 40% of the time, and the rest is just talking about dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's just practice.
Okay, we've had our numbers like go up though in terms of like practicing.
There was a month where we just kind of stopped practicing for like hours at a time so we could talk about how the Hulk tried to kill himself.
That did get brought up like a couple of times.
Our last podcast we did, it's like, we will not talk about the Hulk trying to kill himself.
Yeah, we tried really hard.
I was thinking about that today, and it's like, I should sneak that in there. That'd be funny for me. I thought it was funny. Andrea, how do you feel about being a joke?
Yeah, how do you
I mean, I keep getting you all to listen to more Frank Zappa.
Yes.
I think it's pretty obvious how I feel about it.
His what was the record that we were talking about? I think it was Mother or Mothers, maybe.
It's the band The Mothers, his first band.
Okay.
It's his live in Fillmore East, 1971.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent album.
We got a ton of CDs from our dad. He has like over 1,000 CDs, and then when he sold his house, he was like, "Hey, do you guys want these?" And I found a ton of Frank Zappa CDs. So I was like, "Hey, Andrea, are any of these good?" And she was like, "Oh,
all of them."
This is collection of Zappa." Yeah. So she like picked out all her favorites, and I've been listening to them. Yeah, I totally see like just like the performance that he puts on, you know what I mean? And how that can connect to like, I don't know, our sense of humor, I guess. Yeah, we should put that on it because I think you would fuck with it.
That's one thing.
He's such a weird guy, though.
He's a weird guy.
I don't know. Weird guys tend to make good music. What can I say?
He's a fucking genius.
Well, I didn't even pull the Frank Zappa reference because I think of like some of the tracks from like Apostrophe and some of that other stuff where, you know, like St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast. What the fuck's that about? But there's a great, is it a xylophone solo that's also like marimba? There we go. That's like doubled on guitar and like the pure musicianship. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, really talented musicians and just very funny, and he's a genius composer. And yeah, his son actually, Dweezil Zappa, he used to do Zappa Plays Zappa, and he was on an episode of Chopped. And for the first round, he made us St. Alfonso's Pancake Breakfast.
Oh, that rocks.
That's awesome.
I've watched so many Dweezil Zappa just interviews just to watch him just like, here's how I try to recreate all of this.
Yeah, he's great. He's weird and definitely a very different guitarist from Frank. But,
Well, his dad was Frank Zappa.
yeah, but he learned a lot from Steve Vai.
Yeah.
Kind of a different sound. But he's really cool. He's really nice too. I got to meet him.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
The debut BlueDriver record's going to have a totally different sound after y'all get done with the Frank Zappa discography.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's already completely different. I like how one thing that's important to me is none of the songs sounding the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was gonna say,
yeah. And also going back to marimba, fucking joke instruments are so cool.
joke instruments are so cool, and we have so many of them.
Yeah. Back when we were sillier, we had a song with the melodica solo. And I knew that no matter how bad the set went, I got to play a melodica.
Sure.
This new EP does have a melodica on it, which
I
I'm
was
really
going to ask if the melodica made it. I have a great photo from a Treasury set, I think, of you playing the melodica.
Yes.
I have to dig through the archives.
I love the melodica. And I mean, I think that goes back to just being weird. Like, nobody wants to be in a band like, oh, what kind of music do you play? It's like, I play normal music.
Rock. Yeah.
It's like, no, it's fun to be a little weird. That's what makes you stand out. And having a melodica solo, that's awesome. And putting a bunch of chaos in one part of the song, that's really cool and fun. And it might not be for everybody, but we had fun doing it. And I hope that comes through on this EP.
Yeah, well, when should people expect to have this EP out? Is it the 31st or when's the release?
So the single actually comes out tomorrow.
Okay, as of recording this, yeah.
And then I think we're aiming for Halloween. Hopefully, I think it should all be good. I didn't run into any problems. I haven't finished uploading it, but I have the tab open. So eventually I'll get to it. We're aiming for Halloween, and then we have our EP release, Halloweekender, which we're really, really excited for.
Yes, that's gonna be so much fun.
Is this the first time you announced that? Was that today you announced the Halloweekender?
No, we announced it a while ago.
Okay.
It was like months and months ago. It was like, what if we did a weekender on Halloween and we could call it Halloweekender? And then we didn't talk about it for months. And then I got stimulants, and it's like, what if I did that? And I actually booked. Yeah, what if I actually put in the work to, I don't know, play shows outside the Twin Cities?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're doing it, and we're so excited. And I'm just really proud of us and happy with where we're at as a band.
It's gonna be our first tour.
Our first gig outside
ask.
the Twin Cities.
Not your
Awesome.
first.
Yeah.
No,
I was like,
Andrea's way ahead of us.
Yeah,
Andrea is like, knows everything.
yeah. It's actually kind of messed up.
No, it's been great.
It has been great.
Oh, maybe we should do this. And Andrea's like, don't do that. And it's like, all right, noted.
But she's like always right about it. It's
it's
I'm not gonna argue.
okay. Yeah.
Like, Andrea's been doing tours and playing with bands and shit way longer than us.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know about that. I think you guys have been playing together longer than I've been playing in bands.
well, you've like been on tours and stuff. Ours, it was just kind of like I said, it's just us messing around, and then it just snowballed from there. And having somebody who actually knows kind of how touring works and what to bring, what not to bring, where to stay, all the logistic stuff that we don't really know about. It's really nice and comforting to have somebody who like knows stuff.
The things I know are like bring 2 outfits, no more. And we're not staying anywhere that doesn't at least have carpet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, should we try to sleep on a stranger's floor in Chicago? And Andrea's like, no.
No. Don't.
Ouch, baby.
I was like, he's like, I will never sleep on someone's floor ever again.
No, I've had enough nights where I'm like, why didn't I just sleep in the damn car? It's been much better to just sleep in the car.
Yeah. We always like to save some time to have bands do local shout outs, kind of talk about who locally or even regionally you're listening to. And, you have that time. Usually people reach for their Spotify's, their streaming service of choice to give that out if you have that. But yeah, who are you listening to? Who should people know about either locally or regionally, band wise?
Our last show was with Duty for their first band, and they fucking rock.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Of course. I mean, it's most of Grandma, but with Kyle Kennedy, who's an amazing drummer. So it was just bound to be phenomenal, and it was.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Duty fucking rips. Always love Grandma and Anita Velveeta. Always
She's all
kind
right.
of, yeah.
Be nice.
It's just, Grandma was like one of those gigs. It was like one of the first shows that Henry and I went to together. And it's like, oh shit, this is insane. Music can be like this.
Yeah.
It really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And just like the attitude and the sound that Grandma brings is really inspiring to me. And then Anita Velveeta, just seeing how big she's gotten, like thinking about, oh, Anita played in our dad's basement like a long, long time ago. And now she's doing all this crazy shit. And it's inspiring. Like, we play in basements. Now we're going to play in bigger basements. So locally, I think those two. And then I've been listening to a lot of this band, Bondage Fairies, which are from Sweden. It's almost like techno punk.
Okay.
It's fun. I like it. And then lately, I've been listening to a lot of Marina. Her new album came out, Princess of Power. That's my shit. It's so good. And I found out recently that the deluxe version of that record is coming out on Friday, the same day that our single is coming out, which strangely happened before with our last single.
Yeah, it's happened more than once with Marie.
Yeah. And it's just weird it happened twice. I didn't plan it, but I'm really happy about that because I love her. Yeah.
Wanted to shout out In Lieu, one of my local favorites. They're so awesome and such good people. And also wanted to shout out all of the former BlueDriver members, of which there have been many. My buddies Zeke and Winston, who are in another band with me, Elbow House. They're my close friends since high school, and they were in the band with us a long time ago. And also B, who is the lead singer of the band Haze Gazer, also super awesome person. And yeah, I just wanted to give them a shout out because they're my buddies, and
Shout out to
we've had
me.
some member changes over the years.
Yeah. And I think,
And of course, Nick, who we mentioned earlier.
and then my coworker Nick as well, who played the cowbell for us one time.
Yeah.
Recording.
Yeah.
The song. Yeah.
So that's one of the bonus tracks on the CDs. So I put Feet Nick, and I'm just, yeah, everybody who's ever been in the band, like, I'll always have love for everybody. That's a lyric in Hope You Know. Originally, it was for Angie. It was like, you know, I'll always love you if you quit the band. And that rings true, like, for everybody. And everybody who's come to a show, everybody who's played with us or let us use their drum kit or anything.
Anybody who's ever backlined for me.
Yeah, we're just thankful. Just want to shout out everybody in the, I guess, everybody who's in the scene that we are in and who is nice to us. Shout out everybody. Real specific.
I would say.
Oh, Critter Thing. Critter Thing is so good.
I was just gonna
Yes.
say, yeah, they just put out this EP, Save Room,
Mhm.
that is fucking nuts. It feels like you're in a PS1 game. Positive. Yeah, I really love their new EP. We played with this one lady, Ev, at 7th Street. Who
That fucking rocks.
was
so good.
fucking
Yeah, they're so good.
very jam, like surf punk type shit. I really love them. Slog, which is like trans hardcore shit. They're mind blowing. Probably a lot of other bands that I can't think of right now.
Basketball Divorce Court.
Basketball
Oh, yeah.
So good.
just put out a new single, Do It Girl, Hate and Smoke Weed, which is an incredible title. Really great stuff. I think specifically like the hardcore scene in Minneapolis is going fucking
Crazy.
nuts right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are crowd killing like crazy.
Yeah, I don't listen to hardcore music. It kind of scares me.
Yeah, it scares me too, but like in a fun way.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah, the straight edge scene just kind of scares me.
They're not all straight.
They're not all straight edge.
I don't know.
Believe you me, they're not all straight edge.
Katie Kelly certainly is.
Well, yeah.
Well, awesome. The EP is called Again. It's coming out soon. You're gonna get physicals. Where can you pick up physicals?
Anybody locally?
I got enough.
What do you
I've
mean?
been listening to a podcast nonstop for the last 7 months. So that's where I'm at.
Not much new music, not much local stuff at the moment.
Not that wasn't already said.
Okay.
That I can think of. I don't know. I'm so tired right now. I don't know.
No, I am too. Yeah.
Andrea had school. Angie had
Yeah.
other practice. I don't know what Henry did today. I worked. I don't know if I can call it that. I had fun at
You went to
my place of work.
You went to work.
I put glow in the dark paint on my guitar inlays so I can see where the dots are in the dark. And then when I was doing that, I fucking bonked my guitar, and I'm really upset about it. So yeah, that was my day. I ate Taco Bell. I used one of my rewards, and I got a cheesy gordita crunch, which I found
I
out.
don't talk about
Yeah, it's like it's the best bang for your value. It's usually $5, but if you're a fire tier reward member, you get one for free.
Wow.
I've kind of run the system, one could say, in the Taco Bell rewards.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really glad
So
you brought that up.
So where can you pick up the CD when the EP's out?
Probably just at shows. I might put it on Bandcamp. I've been really bad about Bandcamp this whole time, but I want to try to do better about it. And then if my work lets me, maybe I'll sell them at the shop. I don't know. It's just CDs. They're made by me. They're printed out. I don't know. They're cool. It's cool to have physical media. It's something that we never really had. We had Henry has one cassette of early BlueDriver, and it's bad.
Or literally month 2. I think it was after we had first been to a show, and we're like, wait, we could actually do this, but we still sounded really bad.
Yeah. And then we had a couple CDs of It's Alive. And then, Scary with Dirty Laundry made us CDs of Music is Dead and BlueDriver Killed It, which is so awesome. And then I was hoping to have some tapes made, but I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off with all the other shit I have to do before tour. But we have CDs, we have hats, we have new hats, they have cows on them, Moon Driver, my best new bit. And we have bottle openers and
lip balm.
And lip balm. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, Sig, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me. The EP is fantastic. I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
seriously, thank you.
You have been listening to the Ear Coffee Podcast. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, and share so we can stand out against the sea of other music podcasts. You can find information and other important links in the show notes of this episode. If you would like to support us, please consider subscribing on Patreon for early access to live sessions and other bonus content. You can also subscribe to our Substack for a regular newsletter with reviews, ramblings, and anything else we have to say. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.